Anand Mahajan has been teaching programming for the last more than 25 years. He has been teaching when he himself was a student. The first programming language he learnt was BASIC, that is, Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instructions Code. From there on, he never looked back and went on to master C, C++, Core Java, Advanced Java, PHP and .NET. He has a flair for Linux shell programming and data structure also. His teaching style has been admired by scores of learners as it makes the learning quite easier and fun. In his initial years of career, he worked for some of India's giant computer education companies. He later decided to establish his own computer training institute with his wife, who too was a consummate computer programming trainer. Thousands of students who have been trained by him stand a brilliant testimony to his scintillating career as an honest, hard-working and understanding teacher. Of late, he got attracted towards online teaching as it is catching the fancy of more and more people nowadays. One thing is for sure, you are not going to get disappointed once you take up this course. This course will act as a real solid foundation of your programming career. You will definitely look forward to his upcoming courses in C++, Java and PHP. Wishing you a brilliant and fulfilling career in programming ahead.
Hi, this is Anand Mahajan, your instructor for this course on Python. Why should you learn Python? Now, this is the very first question that arises in one's mind, that why one should learn Python. There are a host of reasons. Now, the first one is it's very easy to learn, best suited for first-time programmers. It takes very less time to learn. Unlike other languages, complexities are very less. If you compare this with the languages like C++, Java, the complexities are really very less. And C, very less amount of code is required to be written. Basic tasks with minimal amount of code, they can be performed. Python code is 5 times shorter than Java. And you'll be surprised to know Python code is 10 times shorter than C++. And Python is used for developing artificial intelligence applications also. In fact, Python has a special library for AI development. Python is used for scientific research also. In fact, Python has a built-in support for scientific computing support. I should say it has a built-in support for scientific computing tasks. Then comes machine learning. Machine learning is a kind of artificial intelligence that provides computers with the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So that means not a very heavy tons of programs are to be written in order to develop artificial intelligence applications. Now comes web development. A lot of frameworks are available for Python for developing websites. That means it is used for web development also. Fastest and stable web development. Django, Pylons, TurboGears are some of the frameworks for web development, and they are very popular in the market. Python code is faster and stable. Huge number of resources are available for the Python developers, like there are so many reference manuals, videos and forums, etc. On these forums, you can discuss your issues related with the Python coding and you can get your issues resolved very easily. There are many popular testing frameworks for Python. That means you can have several case tests for your Python programs in order to check the efficiency of your Python programs. Some of the testing frameworks which are very popular, they are py.txt, nose, zope.txt. Test. Before starting with the Python programming, let us have some look at the common topics like what is a program, what is a programming language, and what are the different types of programming languages. First, we will start with program. Now, what is a program? A program is a set of instructions given to the computer system in order to have some desired output. So when we write a program, we in fact give set of instructions to the computer system. Those instructions are processed, are executed by the computer system with the help of some softwares, and we end up getting the desired output. Now see, now we need some medium to write a program. So what is a programming language? It is a medium through which a programmer provides instructions to the computer system. That is, programmer interacts with the computer system through programming language. So the concept is very simple. If we want to convey instructions to the computer system, there ought to be some medium, and that medium is programming language. Like in routine life, if we want to interact with each other as human beings, we need a language. Similarly, in order to have an interaction with the computer system, what we are required to do is we are required to have a programming language. Now, as far as types of programming languages are concerned, basically there are three types of programming languages: machine language, assembly language, and high level language. So see, as far as machine language is concerned, this is nearest to the computer system. Now what I mean to say is, it is the lowest level programming language, that is directly understandable to the computer system without translation. So if you are going to write a program using a machine level language, what will happen is the instructions will be directly understandable to the computer system, and there won't be any requirement for the translation of your instructions into the computer language because they are already written in machine language. Now comes the turn of assembly language. In assembly languages, what happens is we use symbols, and these symbols are called mnemonics. They represent the various programming instructions. So there are some codes which are called mnemonics, and those mnemonics represent some programming instructions. Now, because mnemonics are being used, they will not be directly understandable to the computer machine. So assembler is required to convert an assembly language program into machine language, because as you know, the computer needs to have the program only in machine language, because only then it will be able to understand it. So assembler is sort of a translation software that will convert an assembly language program into machine code. Now, high level language. High level language, actually in this kind of language, the instructions are written using English like language. Right, a translator software, interpreter or compiler is required to convert a high level program into machine code. Now the point is very simple, because high level languages, the programs written in high level languages, they are in English like language. Now as you know, the computer machine cannot understand the English language directly. So a translator is required to convert that English like language program into machine code, that is high level program into machine code. So such translator softwares are of two types: interpreters or compilers. Now see, is Python interpreter based or compiler based? A Python program is first compiled to get bytecodes. These bytecodes are then interpreted by a virtual machine software. Source code with extension .py is compiled into .pyc file. Now this pyc file is nothing else but this is the bytecodes. Now bytecodes, they can be understood by all the computer machines, even though they are using different platforms. These bytecodes are interpreted by CPython. So CPython is the main software which will be interpreting bytecodes, and subsequently they will be executed. So in a way we can say that Python uses both interpreters as well as compiler. So it's interpreter based as well as compiler based, because as I have explained, first the program is compiled, right, and after that it is interpreted by a virtual machine software. So in this lecture we are going to learn how to download Python. Now the place to download Python from is www.python.com/download. This is the URL that you will be using to download Python. Now we come to this PyCharm. PyCharm is an IDE, that is integrated development environment for Python programs. So in this IDE, PyCharm, it's a very popular IDE for writing Python programs. In this IDE PyCharm, we can write and execute all Python programs, and the URL is www.jetbrains.com/PyCharm. So in the next lecture, I will be showing you how to download from these URL both Python as well as PyCharm. In continuation with the previous lecture, now we will see how to download Python and PyCharm. So as I have told you in the previous lecture, I will be going to the URL Python, www.python.org/download. Right. So I will be pressing enter, and when we will be going to this URL, we will end up getting this screen. This is download Python 3.7.2 button. So after clicking on this button, we can download it. And if you want to have your Python for Linux, Unix, Mac OS or other operating system, you can click to the required link. Okay, so I will click on download Python 3.7.2, and it will be downloaded in your download folder. So like in my case, it was downloaded in this my download folder Python 3.7.2.exe. When you will be clicking on this exe file, the whole installation will take place very easily, right? Similarly, now I will show you how to download and install PyCharm. So we will be going to this URL www.jetbrains.com/PyCharm. So PyCharm, as I have told you, it's a very powerful IDE for writing and executing Python programs. So you'll press enter, and here we go. Yeah, this is PyCharm. What I will be doing is I will be clicking on this download now button. Let me go here, download now button, and now it will ask me whether I want to download professional version or community version. Professional version is the paid one, and community version, it's very good version that can be used by learners. And if you want to have PyCharm for Mac OS and Linux, then you can click on the required link. Otherwise, if you want to have it for Windows, you will click here, download. So when you will click on download, so it will be downloaded in your download folder. Like in this case, see this PyCharm community, so .exe. This file has been downloaded in your download folder. When you will double click on it, so this PyCharm IDE will be installed properly on your computer system. Now in this lecture we are going to write our very first program in PyCharm. So this is the PyCharm that I have pinned on my taskbar. When I will click on it, PyCharm is going to be opened. So because we have installed the community version, it's PyCharm community. Okay, so now what I will be doing is I will be clicking on create the project, and when I will click on create the project, so this is the default path which has been set for saving the Python programs. I am going to give it the name Hello Mahajan. Then click on create. Okay, this project will be created. A project is nothing else but it can contain many Python programs. So that is why we call it project, because project can contain multiple Python programs. So in the beginning some processing is taking place, which is creation of virtual environment. It's going to take some time. After that we will be able to write our first Python program. So let's wait. Virtual environment is being created. Okay, now click on close. So this is our project, name of which is Hello Mahajan. I will press the right mouse button over here, then go to new and now choose Python file, because we are going to write Python program. So choose Python file, click on it. It will ask for the name of your Python file. Always remember, Python file is always stored with the extension py. You need not give this extension py, it will be automatically suffixed. So this is it. Now you can so now I am going to use the very common statement of Python, that is print. Print is a statement which is used to print something on the screen. If you want to print a string as it is, that is a string constant, it should be enclosed within quotation marks. So I have written print within parentheses. I have written Hello Mahajan Computers within quotation marks, and in the next print statement I am going to write within parentheses Kurukshetra, Haryana, India, that too in quotations. So we are not supposed to terminate the statements with semicolon as we do in C, C++ and Java. So the first print statement will print Hello Mahajan Computers, and the second one will print Kurukshetra, Haryana, India. Go on run, then click on run. Okay, so when you will click on run, it will ask for the name of the program. I have clicked on first. Yeah, see, the program has been executed. See at the bottom, Hello Mahajan Computers, Kurukshetra, Haryana, India. So this message has been printed as output, and this is the output of these two print statements that we have used in our Python code. So congratulations, this was your first Python program. In this lecture, we are going to have a fair idea about variables in Python. As you might already be knowing, a variable is a named container of a value. So whenever we are supposed to contain a value somewhere in the memory location, it is stored under a variable name. This value can be of certain data type like integer, float, string, etc. Now, Python is a dynamically typed language unlike C, C++, Java, etc. Now, let me explain what is dynamically typed language. A dynamically typed language is a language in which there is no need to declare a variable, because declaration of a variable involves specifying its data type. Now, in Python, you need not declare a variable before using it. Its data type will be decided when the value will be assigned to it. Now, there is no need to declare a variable in Python. Its data type is decided at runtime. when it is assigned a value. When the program is in execution stage and a value is going to be assigned to the variable, what is the type of that value? Accordingly, that particular variable will be taken to be of that data type. Examples: x is equal to 100. Now x is a variable. It is being assigned a value 100. As 100 is an integer value, data type of x will be assumed to be integer. City is equal to, within quotation marks, I have written New York. So within quotation marks, we people write string constants. So New York is a string constant. So city variable will be treated as a string variable. Similarly, salary is equal to 12,000.78. Because it's a decimal value, so salary will be considered to be of float data type. Now, by float data type, I mean to say the variable of float data type is the one which is containing the decimal values, like this one. Now, let me tell you about certain rules for naming variables. Rules are very simple. A variable name consists of alphanumeric characters and underscore only. I mean to say, the variable name can consist of the letters from capital A to capital Z, from small a to small z, from digit 0 to digit 9, and underscore. A variable name is case sensitive. What I mean to say by saying case sensitive is, for example, say a variable small a is different from capital A. Both are A, but the difference is in case. A, small letter a, would not be treated as the same as capital letter A. And variable code, C is capital, is different from variable code, C is small. So this is to say that a variable name is case sensitive in Python. Now, the next rule is the first character should be either a letter or underscore. The first letter cannot be a number. I mean to say, I cannot have a variable like digit 1 ABC. Yes, it could be ABC digit 1. In this lecture, we are going to have an example that will show you how to declare and use variables. Now, this is the project Hello Mahajan that we people have used in the previous example. I will press the right mouse button on it, go to new, and then choose Python file. Always remember, in one project, you can have as many Python files as you want. Now, give it a name. I am going to give it the name like, suppose, my variables. Okay. So I'm going to click on OK. So let me write this program. Now I am writing my name is equal to, within quotation marks, Anand. So that means my name is a variable and its value has been assigned, full value has been assigned as Anand Mahajan. So second variable is city. I am going to assign it the value Kurukshetra. As both the variables are containing the values which were written within double quotes, they are string variables. The third one is also string variable. I would write country is equal to India within quotation marks. So in total, I have got 3 variables. All the 3 variables, they happen to be of string data type. So now I am going to use print in order to show the output on the screen. So what I am doing is I am writing I am within double inverted commas, then plus concatenation symbol, my name, then again plus /n is going to take the control to the next line, that is new line. I live in will be printed as it is, plus concatenation symbol, and city. Plus is the concatenation symbol that joins 2 items together. So again I am writing print my country is within quotation marks plus country. Name of the variable is country. So again have a look at the program. My name is a variable which is being assigned the value Anand Mahajan. City is the variable which is being assigned the value Kurukshetra, and country is another third variable which is containing the value India. So In print statement, what I am doing is within double quotes I am writing I am and one space, so it will be printed as it is. Plus is the concatenation symbol that will join the two items. Here two items means I am constant and my name variable. So value of my name variable is Anand Mahajan, so it will be I am Anand Mahajan. Again plus concatenation symbol, and in continuation within double quotes I am going to write /n. That will take the control to the next line. I live in will be printed as it is. Then concatenation symbol plus, then city. So the value of city is Kurukshetra. So the output would be I am Anand Mahajan. I live in Kurukshetra. Now in the next print, same thing is going to happen. My country is will be printed as it is, and plus concatenation symbol will concatenate with it the value of the variable country. And as you know, the value of the variable country is India. So we have completed this program. Now let's go to run, and then I will click on the name of the program. I think I have chosen the wrong name of the program. Okay, let's go back to run. So I have chosen the program variables.py. py is the extension given to the Python programs. Actually I had deleted this program, and this was just a sample program. So because the name of the program was not variables but my variables. So again I will go to run, then I will click on run. I will choose the correct name of the program, that is my variables. I will click on it. Okay, now see, there is an error, and the error is bad operand type for unary plus. Actually I have given the plus symbol in the first print statement. This is redundant. In the beginning of this print statement, this plus symbol is redundant. It was an error to give it here because nothing was going to be concatenated here. Again run the program, choose my variables. Okay, so this is our output. Let me show you the full output. I am Anand Mahajan. I live in Kurukshetra and my country is India. So the output is being displayed. In this lecture, I am going to tell you about a very special method of Python, which is type. So type method comes in handy when while determining the data type of a particular identifier. So we can use the type method whenever we are interested in knowing, we are in the requirement of knowing the data type of a particular identifier. Here by identifier I mean to say a variable. Okay, so what I will do is as an example, let me take some variables, like I have taken this variable code and I have assigned it the value, integer value 9009. Then I am going to take another variable amount and I am going to give it a float data type value, which is also called floating point data type. Okay, so another variable is name, value of which is Anand Mahajan within double quotes. Of course it is a string. And then I have taken a bool data type variable flag and I have assigned it true because true has been assigned to the variable flag. Naturally its type would be boolean, which is called bool. Print, then I am going for these print statements. Print type within parenthesis code, print type within parenthesis amount, print type within parenthesis name. So all these are variables. Print type within parenthesis the variable flag. Okay, so let's execute the program. What will happen is it is going to print the data type of all these variables. Okay, so this is the output. As you can see, within angular brackets writing class means data type. So here class means data type. Int was displayed for code, float was displayed for amount because amount had a floating point value, and str stands for string. This is being printed for the variable name because it was containing, this variable was containing a string data type value. And finally it is printing class bool, means data type bool, for the variable flag. Why? Because flag variable was containing a boolean data type value, so it happened to be a bool variable, so data type was bool, so bool is getting printed for the variable flag. In this lecture we are going to talk about comments in Python. See, comments are used to explain coding statements. Comments are ignored by the compiler, hence they are not included in the bytecodes. Comments come in handy when others are reading your code. Not only others, but if you yourself are reading your code after a long period of time, the comments, they will be very helpful in making you understand what are the different locations of the program where you have what kind of logic you have applied. Basic objective of comments is to clarify the coding statements. Comments are also called remarks. Now we will learn how do we use comments or remarks in Python. The first system is using hash symbol. If a statement is preceded with hash symbol, it becomes a comment line. Again, let me repeat this, that it will become a comment line. It means it will not be treated as part of your code, but rather it will be just part of the documentation. That means it will just explain a set of statements or a single statement, and it will not be executed. For example, I have written x is equal to 100, and in front of it I have written hash, x is being assigned the value 100. Now what is this x is being assigned the value 100? It is a plain statement and it is not part of the actual code. So hence, because it is being preceded with hash symbol, it will be treated as a comment. Now in the next line what I am writing is hash, then following statement prints value of x. Following statement prints value of x, it will not be becoming the part of the actual code because it is being preceded with hash symbol. It will be merely treated as a comment line. So this is the actual code, print value of x is equal to something plus x, that will be printed. So we have seen hash symbol. Now we will see the next method of giving comments in Python, and that is using 3 times quotation marks. So 3 times quotation marks, they come in handy when you want to give comments to a block of code. If your requirement is to comment a block of code, that means multiple statements, you want to have multiple statements in your comments, in that case you use 3 quotation marks in the beginning and in the end of that block. For example, roll no is equal to 101. I am taking this variable roll no, assigning it the value 101. Similarly, marks in English, assigning it the value 99, and marks in maths, assigning it the value 100. Now here, start from this 3 quotation marks. There are 3 statements and these 3 quotation marks are getting ended here. So this whole block will be treated as comments. They will not be part of your actual code. They will not be converted into bytecodes. So this is something in the above statement I have assigned values into 3 variables, and in the following statement I will print their values, and other things, these are comment lines and will not be compiled into bytecodes. So this all these 3 statements will become, this block will become the comment lines, and they will not be part of the actual program. So next I have printed a roll number, marks in English and marks in maths, and this, you are familiar with this str because roll no and marks in English, marks in maths, all these 3 variables, they were of integer type, so they had to be converted into string using str. In this interesting lecture we will learn how to read the values into variables using input method. I have already created a an empty program with the name inpy.py. So I'm going to write the code. First, let me give some pertinent comment. So I'm writing hash in learning to read values into variables through the keyboard. So as you know, reading the values means inputting the values. So we will be inputting the values through the keyboard, and the values, they should go into a variable. So the first thing I am going to do is name is equal to input, and now what will happen in case of name is equal to input is name is a variable and input is a method. At the time of execution of input, the cursor will start blinking. That means it is asking for some value to be read from the keyboard. User will give a value and subsequently that will go into the variable name. But to make the things clear to the user, we should give a print statement like enter the name of the candidate before this cursor blinking, so that user comes to know what he is supposed to supply. So this is called prompt. So whatever will be inputted, that will go into the variable name, written onto the left side of the assignment operator is equal to. So subsequently in the next statement, I have simply printed name is colon within quotes will be printed as it is, and plus concatenation symbol will concatenate, that is join the variable name. So let me execute this program. Okay, so I think there is some problem with the indentation. Okay, so as you know, while working in Python, you shouldn't give space before any programming statement unless it is required. So let me remove the space. Right, okay. So I have re-executed the program. It is asking for the name of the candidate. This enter the name of the candidate is coming from the simple print statement, and then name is Anand Mahajan because value was supplied Anand Mahajan, and this value was given through the input method. So input method is used to read the values, to input the values through the keyboard. Now we will move further, and here I am going to tell you a very important point, that when you people use input method, whatever value you supply, that is taken in the form of a string, right? So in order to make these values work as int, that is integer or float, we are supposed to convert their type. It's very easy. Let me explain it with the help of these coding statements. So I have written enter the first value, var1 is equal to input. So whatever value we will give through the input method, that will go into the variable var1. Subsequently, we have given the statement print enter the second value, and this is the prompt. Enter the second value message will appear. After that, because of input, the cursor will start blinking, and whatever value user supplies, that will go into var2. But both the values into var1 and var2, they will be treated as strings. But what I want to do is I want to add these two numbers, but right now they are not being treated as numbers, but they are being treated as strings. So first let me give the comment, because this is very important when we give a prompt message to the user to make him understand what kind of data he is supposed to give. So these messages, enter the first value, enter the second value, they help the user a lot regarding what kind of data he is supposed to give. Now I am writing some colon, and after that var3. I am going to execute this program, but you will see that there will be a very strange output because var1 var2 were treated as strings. So I have executed the program. I have given the value, first value 100, second 1000, and as you can see, actually we wanted to add these two numbers, but it is simply concatenating them as two strings. 100 was the first value, 1000 was the second value. They have been simply concatenated like strings. So this is not what we want. So what I will do is I will use int typecasting. This is called typecasting. Int var1, int var2. Now what will happen is var1, var2, they will not be considered strings, they will be considered integers. So I have again re-executed the program. Value is 100 and suppose second value is again 1000 or something. Yeah, now we got the desired result. Both the values, they have not been concatenated, but they have been actually added together because of this plus symbol. So this point is very important, that when we use input, it takes only string. So it takes input takes in the form of a string only. So but this is not a major problem, because you have seen in this example we wanted var1 and var2 to be treated as integers, so we just prefixed them with the name with the keyword int. So they were converted into integers and we got the desired output. In this lecture we are going to learn about a very important function of Python, str. Go to the project, press the right mouse button, and then we will go to new, choose Python file. As I told you, in one project you can have as many Python files as you want. Give the name of this new file using str or something. The extension py will be automatically suffixed. So I'm going to declare a variable called name, because I am going to give the value within quotation mark. It will be treated as a string variable. Okay, the value of name variable is David, that of age is 21. As you can see, age variable will be treated as an integer variable because value is integer. Okay, so in the print statement I am going to write name of employee plus name plus, as you know, is the concatenation symbol. Name of employee is equal to will be printed as it is, and in front of it the value of name, which is David, will be printed. Again concatenation symbol, and he is, okay, within double inverted commas, that is quotation marks. Then plus age, value of age is 21, so we will expect that result would be, and he is 21 years old will be printed as it is because of being within quotation marks. So value of name is David. Here in place of this variable name, the value David will be printed, and he is being in the quotation marks will be printed as it is. Then the value of age will be printed, and as you know, in this case the value of age happens to be 21, and years old would be printed as it is. The program seems to be quite simple, but when I will try to execute it, you will see it will give you an error message. So the error would be because of this variable age, which happens to be of int. When we use plus concatenation symbol, both the items should be of the same data type, that is string. So let's first execute the program. Yeah, you can see type error, can only concatenate str, means string, not int to str. This error message says that the variable age is of integer data type, so it should be first converted into string data type. So for that, a very simple function str is there in Python. So when I would write str age, what would happen is age will be converted into string. So on both the sides of the plus concatenation symbol, the items should be of string type. So that is why we had to convert age into string by using str function. So I'm going to execute this program. Now the program will run perfectly okay. Yeah, name of employee is equal to David, and he is 21 years old. Now there is no error. In this lecture, we are going to learn about strings. So I'm going to create a new project. Go to file, new project, and here we are supposed to give the name to the project. I am giving the name my strings. Click on create, And if you want to create new window, you can click on new window. I have clicked on this window only. Now it will take some time because it's creating virtual environment. Different libraries are being loaded, so because this is the new project, it's going to take some time. So as you know, a string is nothing else but it's a group of characters, and Python has got a very rich library of string functions whereby we can manipulate with the strings. I will be covering this topic in at least 2 lectures. In this lecture I will be talking about some very basic string functions. Okay, so now right click on the project my strings, and as usual go to new and choose this Python file. Okay, click on this. So we are going to give name to our Python program, so I am going to give it the name string1. Okay, click on OK. Py extension will be automatically suffixed. Now I am going to take a string variable, name is equal to Anand Mahajan. It has been assigned the value Anand Mahajan. The name of the string variable is name. So this is your, now I am going to give the comment using the hash symbol. The characters of a string are indexed in such a way that the first character is at index 0, right, and second at index 1, and so on and so on. Because there were multiple line comments, each line has been suffixed with hash symbol. It has been preceded with hash symbol, so all these 3 lines, they were taken as comments. So when I would write print name square bracket 0, it will give me the very first character, which is A. Go to run. Okay, run this program, choose string 1. Click on this. Yes, A. Why? Because we have printed name 0. So 0 index number is of the character A. Now I would write name within square bracket 4. So it will give me the 5th character. Why 5th? Because index starts from 0. So I will click on this, run the program. It's giving D because D is at index number 4, which is in fact the position number 5. Okay, now you can use a range also. When I would write suppose 1:4, what does it mean? It means the substring starting from the index 1 till the index 4 minus 1. In this case that will be 3, that will be printed. Click on run. So it should be NAN, right, because we started from index 1, that is N, and we went till N. This substring was printed. Why? Because when I mentioned the range as 1:4, that means 1 from 1 to 3, index number 3. Okay, so next I am going to talk about a very simple function which is called len. Len function returns, that is gives the length of a string. Now what is the length of a string? Length of a string means the total number of characters in a string. So print, I am going to write len, and as an argument I will supply the name of the variable, which is name. Click on run. Yeah, choose this. Okay, so let me run string 1, and the answer is 13. Why 13? Because the total number of characters in the string name are 13. Always remember, space is also treated as a character, so it will also be counted. Space will also be counted, remember it. Now I am going to talk about another simple function which is called lower. So lower function, what does it do is it converts the string into lowercase. Okay, so how to use it? I will use first print in order to print the output. Then let me write name, which is the name of our string, dot lower. Name dot lower. See the syntax using which we have used this lower. So let me execute the program. Yeah, it's Anand Mahajan. A and M were capital, but they have been converted into lowercase, and whatever letters were in lowercase, they will remain as it is. Now in the same manner, we people can use the upper function, which will do exactly the reverse. It will convert your string into uppercase. Okay, let me execute the program, run. Okay, yeah, the whole string has been converted into uppercase. So the output is Anand Mahajan in capital letters. In continuation with the previous lecture, we are going to discuss strings again. Click on the project, right click on the project, my strings, then new Python file. I'm going to give it the name string2. Okay, so this is our second program in the project my strings. So I'm going to take a string variable called college, St. Stephen's. Okay, so I'm going to use a method, string function. Method is the term used for functions. So I'm going to use a method called strip. So what I am going to do is, first let me give the command. Strip function removes the leading and trailing spaces. All right, so blank spaces will be removed, either they are leading or trailing, in the beginning or in the end. So I am going to write print college dot strip. Okay, so in the beginning there is space. In the beginning of the value St. Stephen's, that will be removed. In the end also there is space, that too will be removed. So let's click on the Python file name string2, and you can go to run. This is another way to execute a program. You can see St. Stephen's is printed and the spaces, they have been removed. Okay, quite simple function. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use a function called replace, and replace function replaces the occurrence of a character with some other character. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to take another string variable. Let the name be city, and the value I am going to give is New York. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to replace the occurrence of the letter Y with Z. So what I would write is city, which is the name of the string variable, city dot replace. You can see the syntax carefully. Then the first argument will be the character to be replaced, and second argument will be the character that will be replacing this. Okay, so click on the name of the program, right click on the name of the program, click on run, and okay, there seems to be some problem. Yeah, I have not used print statement, so I would write print Again, right click on the name of the program, click on run. Yeah, you can see instead of New York it is printing New York. Why? Because Y has been replaced with Z, right? So another function we are going to use is split function, which splits a string into parts. So split function splits a string based on a separator. So there ought to be a separator like comma or some space or any kind of separator that will decide where to split the word or your string. So I am going to write like Kurukshetra is a holy city, okay, in Haryana, okay, India. So this is the string, it's a string constant, right? So afterwards what I will do is I will use dot split. After writing this string I will use dot split. Okay, let me go to the place and dot split. Okay, I'll use split. Then within split I am passing this within double quotes this character comma. So this whole one is the string, okay, and split is the function, comma is its argument. So that means this string will be split in two substrings and the separator is comma. Okay, so let's execute the program, run it. Yes, the output has been there. Kurukshetra is a separate string, a holy city in Haryana, India is a separate string.